All right, so the first thing we're going to do, guys, here is what? Quickly, just have just a quick stab at this. We've got a circle, so what do we generally do? 12 segments, so let's go and divide it into 12 segments. Both top and bottom, and then we're going to use those as our auxiliaries. Now, those circles are going to be regarded as what? Termination points. Okay, the auxiliary termination points, and you'll see how that unfolds in a bit.
Oh, I've got this.
Oh yeah, you got it. Good. So now we're going to start to number. Now you've got to decide on this auxiliary which is going to be the top half or the bottom half. Right? You've got to decide. I'm going to start with this as the top. Are you with me? So this is going to be the highest point on that circular duct or the circular cylinder. So I'm going to call that 1. Then I'm going to do like I did yesterday, and I'm going to go around clockwise and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. And 1 or, it's going to be 1 or 12. Eh? Okay, happy with that?
So you missed this part there, picture.
Oh, sorry. 10, my bad, 11, 12. Okay? Yeah, that's going to be what. So you can call it 0 if you want. It's my top. You can call it anything you want. You guys, you can call these 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go A, B, C, D. It's completely up to you. The highest point? It doesn't matter how you flip it. That's what I was saying. Either that's your top half or that's your top half. And then you're going to go 1, 2. It depends. As long as you match the way you've done your annotations here in this auxiliary, and you match them up correctly in position to the, you correspond them correctly to the top here. So guys, have a look here. Agree with me that that's going to be my top point, eh? Yeah, highest point. So what's that going to be? There. 1. Okay? For me, I'm going to go, this way is going to be what? 2. It's 3. Sorry, I keep breaking my lid. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. Have a look. Perfect. Is 7 under 1? Okay, so we look. 6 is under 2. 5 is under 3. Okay, perfect. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, you can start with 0, you can start with 8. It really doesn't matter. It's completely up to you, as long as you get the auxiliary correct. Okay. The next step here is to create essentially auxiliary termination points. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to bring each point here, right? So I know that 10 lines up there. Okay, I'm going to bring 9 and 8 to penetrate there. Does that make sense? So 9 and 8 are going to come across and penetrate over there. I'm going to label the whole time so that you can see. 12 and 8 will penetrate there. Okay? Now, do you agree that 12 and 8, one penetrates at the top, one penetrates at the bottom? What I'm going to do for illustration here is I'm going to divide this, and I'm going to say, this is my top half. This is my bottom half of the cylinder, so that you can see that I'm writing in the direction of which the pipe is traveling. So top half, bottom half. Then I'm going to pull across 1 and 7. So this is the highest and lowest point in the cylinder from the front view. Okay, so we got 1 and 7. I'm going to drag those across. Right. Then we're going to bring across 1 and 6. Oh, sorry, 2 and 6. 2 and 6 come across there. Then 3 and 5 will penetrate as an auxiliary termination point over there. There it is. Everyone happy with that? Do you see how we've created those termination points as auxiliaries? We're going to use Will spline fit. So now we're going to project these auxiliary termination points up into the front view. Remember, it's first angle orthographic projection, so the front view is at the top. Top view is at the bottom, right? So I've projected those all up, and if you want to, what I like to do, especially for your sake right now, is go label them 8 and 9. No, sorry, what's it? 9 and 11. I don't know why I've got 8 over here. That doesn't make sense. It's 9 and 11. 9 and 11. Make sure we do that properly. 9 and 11. And that's 9 and 11. Okay, this is going to be 12 and 8. This one is going to be, on the inside of that's going to be 3 and 5. Then we got 2 and 6, and then 1 and 7. Then obviously you've got the termination point, the turning point on the tip there, which we're going to look at now. Yes.
Oh yeah, the turning point, obviously it cuts through 5 of the
Brilliant.
lines.
Okay, good.
And then are we going to go mark that
Yes.
on those,
Well done. Okay, so for this point, I'm going to use, I'll probably use a bit of color, so that you, let me find a different color here. I'll use a green. And we're going to pull the auxiliary, not the auxiliary, we're going to pull the turning point back. If I can find a rubber quickly, there we go. A ruler, sorry. This is me, a sharpener. Right. So we want to pull this turning point, which is created by the primary, and we're going to pull it back. Okay, you'll see where it intersects there and over there. So if we project it across into the auxiliary, it penetrates between 1 and 2 and 6 and 7. Okay, so I'm going to take those points, those distances again. I'm going to go from 1 to 2. Okay, let me get a smaller compass. I'm going to go 1 to 2.
What are you checking penetration?
So 1 to 2. I'm going to go arc that, right? And from 6 to 7. Remember, make sure wherever your compass is here on the auxiliary, it is at the top. It was on 6 at the bottom, so it's going to be 6 there. And there it is. Alternatively, all you needed to do was project a line straight down from the first one at 60 degrees. Okay, and that's given us, I'll illustrate those again in green so that we know where those are positioned. Okay, there they are. Right, then the next step is to project our auxiliary termination points and turning points back into the front view. Happy with that? Good. So we're going to take, for example, 12 and 2. I'll come back this way. Okay. We're going to take 11 and 3. There. 10 and 4. There. 9 and 5. Okay. 8 and 6. There. Right. And then I'm going to use my green pencil that I used earlier to project. Okay, we know that that is going to be where the turning point is for the green. And I'm going to project that down to there. I'm going to stop when I come into contact with there, with that turning point. So we know it's going to be at the top and the bottom and top in those two positions. I haven't quite got it perfect here with this. Maybe I'll bring it across a little bit there. Take it up a bit. Okay. Are we good, gents? So you guys, you have to imagine now, we want to secure the curve in the front view, correct? Right. So the front view is me looking at this view. Sorry, let me just pull my camera over. No, well, from the side. This is the top view. So if I come around the side here and look at it, does it make sense now?
So that view is there at the top there.
Yeah. So that, yeah, with the eye is looking here, that's the perspective I get, right? So everything that is on that half of the cylinder, I'm going to see. Okay, does it make sense? When it goes beyond that apex and beyond that apex, it disappears behind. Does it make sense? It's like going up and over a hill. Okay, very simple. Okay, gents, so start at 1. I'm going to go 1 to 2. 1 is on that projection line, and we project down from there. So that's going to be 1. I'm going to just put a little, I'm going to annotate it for you, so that's 1. Right, 2 is along the green. Between 1 and 2, what do we have? We've got a what, gents? We've got a turning point. Good, turning point at the top. There's my turning point projection up. There it is. So that's turning point. Okay, so I'm going to just put a TP. It's a turning point, right? Then 2 is along this projection, right? Where's 2 from the bottom? There's 2 there. So we're going to follow 2 up, and we're going to find its projection. That's 2. Okay. There's a lot of intricacy here in terms of the projections. So you've got to be very careful with where you look. So we're going to pull 3. We want 3, so 3 projects up there. Okay, so there's 3, 3 and 11. So let's make sure we stay on 3. And then there's 3 and 11 over there. So that is going to be 3 there, right? This is all behind, remember. This is all hidden so far. Then there's 4. Okay, where is 4 here? Right, so 4 is at the back. Here's 4. Sorry, we didn't put 4 in there. There's 4. So if we project 4 up, and we come down, so there's 4, and we project 4 up. There it is. Okay, this is all hidden so far. Right, then we're going to go down to 5. Right, so 5 and 9 on the same plane. Pull across to 5, pull up. There's 5 over there. Right, so there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. Okay, where is 6? My 2 is in the right place. 3, okay, projecting 3 down there. Oh, sorry, you're right. My 3 has gone 1 over. I apologize for that. Good spot, gents. Good spot. Good spot. Well done. Let me just make sure I get that cleared. Sorry, there's 3. My bad. Okay, we've done 5. We're going to go on to 6 now. So we're approaching the bottom apex. So we got 6 across to there. We're going to follow that. There's 6 is progression. Projection upwards. We're going to follow 6 straight down. It's 6 and 8 are on the same plane. So 6 and 8. Am I correct? We're there. There we go. 6. Still hidden. Because we haven't come to the apex yet. Right. Now we're going to move to 7. 7 is on the bottom. So we projected that. Right, so we're going to, 7 we know is there. We're going to project that up to 7 over there. Okay, now the rest we do are going to be seen, correct? Okay, so I'm going to go from 1 here, guys, and I'm going to use you can use a French curve, or you can do what?
3.
Yeah, so 1 to turning point.
How'd you get that turning point there?
That turning point was this auxiliary here. And I'm going to then...
How do you figure that?
Right, it's all freehand.
There's 1 to turning point also there.
5, 6, 7.
So there's 1 to turning point there.
Yeah, because it goes behind the apex of the cylinder on the far side. Okay. Now 7 is here, and now we're going to start to, what else? I feel like we forgot something. Oh, okay, 7 to 6. What did I miss, guys? The what? I missed the turning point. Did you see what I did there? Silly, sorry. I've missed the turning point. We've got a turning point at the bottom here. So remember I've said, we've got a turning point at the penetrates at the top and also at the bottom, and I've missed that. So if we carry the turning point up, the turning point should be there. So we're going to go 6 to the turning point, and then back to where? Then back to 7, and that is all. Where is 7? 7 is back over there. So sorry, we're going to come back to 7, which is there. Okay, that's your turning point there. Back to 7, and then everything from here is going to be seen. Are you happy with that? So we're going to go from 7 to 8. We're going to project up 8. There's 8 over there. Make sure you keep your eye on that projection. Otherwise, it's really going to trick you a little bit or deceive you. Okay, so there's 8. Right, the next one is 9 coming back on this side. We've got 9. So 9 is up on that projection and it's down along there. So that's 9. Everything so far is seen or unseen? Yeah? Seen. The next one is going to be 10. So there's 10's projection down there. And where's 10 over here? We're looking for, where am I? Oh, 10 will be there. I haven't even done, oh, let me just label that. 10 is on that point there. So right at the end, 10 is going to come onto the back apex, back corner here. Right, so that's 10. And then we're going to have 11. There's the projection for 11. There's 11's projection upwards. It starts to get a bit easier now because we've eliminated the first half of that cylinder. Then there's 12. 12 is projected up the middle here to there. So there's 12. From 12, we're going to go to 1. So we're going to pull 1 down, and there's 1 is there. Now, so from all those points, we're going to have scene curve. Oh, it's very abrasive. I'm probably pressing a little bit too hard. Okay, so that's the seen and not seen. Okay, right, then what do we do here? I've got to go connect. So dark line 7 to 7 here will be, right, and 1 to 1. Obviously, anything behind that is going to be hidden detail. So there, it's a bit of hidden there. That's very close, it's very tight, but that would be slightly hidden as well. Right, that's the curve, complete. The curve is complete. Right, so we've got to pull the height of this primary object across, or the primary branch, because we need to develop the two surfaces of the triangular duct. So we're going to develop, I'm going to call this A, and we're going to call this B. So we're going to develop the surface of A and B. Right, we'll start with B and then work our way to A. Okay, so let's develop that. Start it there. Right, and the length of each side is 50. I'm just going to use my compass. There we go. There. Okay. Right, that's going to be slightly lighter, and some of that will be missing. Right, so we've set up in construction here 2 panels. This is panel A, sorry, this is panel B and panel A. Yeah, we'll go in that direction. And then what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to pull across the heights of the points on the curve. So for example, that's going to be 8. Get some, it's going to be 8, 9, yeah.
Development is as you're looking from the front, like from the right to the left.
Yeah, so it's looking at that from the front and opening it up. Yeah.
So that's how you look at it.
That's how we look at it, yes. Okay, that's going to be 7. Let me label them on opposite sides. So we'll call that 9 there, and we'll call that 7 so that we don't label on top of each other. So that's 7. Then we're going to take across, we'll take 6. That's going to be 6. And then we're going to take across the turning point at the bottom. And we know that that's going to be intersecting over there. Quite simple. Turning point. We're going to take across 5 and 10. So there's 5. Just want to make sure that that's correct. It's 5. Right. 10. It's all very close. Very, very close. 10. 4. 4. 11, 3, 12. Okay, so we're just projecting heights across, so we carry on all the way to the top. Okay, that's, sorry? Yeah. That's 1. That's the turning point there. So that'll be there, obviously, because it's on that point there. There we go. So we know that those 2 points are already there. They're fixed. I brought the turning points across.
10, sir.
And?
10. 10's on the edge.
10's on the edge, yes. So 10, you're right. So 10 will start for me, you're right over there. So that's going to be where we start. Okay, good. And then you know what we do here, guys? Quite simply, we're going to use our top view to get the distances correct. So in other words, this will be 9 and what? 9 and 11. So I'm just going to arc that. And just going to illustrate, again, annotate, so that's going to be 9 and 11. Then, we're going to open up, let me use my bigger compass for time's sake. We got 12 and 8.
So 9.
12 and 8. Remember, we're working from this edge to that point, and then all the way back around the corner. So we're going to go 10, or that corner, to 1 and 7. 1 and 7. And then we have the turning point here, as we mentioned earlier. Okay. Then we're going to go from this point, the turning point, to 2 and 6. Okay, there's the distance to 2 and 6. 2 and 6. Why am I using the top view, guys? What am I doing here?
True length.
Thank you. The true length of those auxiliary termination points. Okay. Then I'm going to go from corner to 3.5. Sorry, 3 and 5, not 3.5. 3 and 5. 3 and 5. And then the next one is 4. Okay. From the turning point. I'm using the turning point as a reference, yeah. Okay, in this case, so I worked from this corner and I arced across, and I worked from that corner, that turning point corner, and arced. And then that'll be 4. And it's quite simple now. We've got our projections. To not make it too busy, I'm just going to stop. So 9 and 11, right? We know that 11 should be, did I bring 11 across? There's 11. Okay. So on that point projection, there's 9, right? And there's 11. Everyone happy with that? If I project up, that's 9. This 9 is down here, the bottom. I'll illustrate it on this side as well. 8 is the lowest line in terms of height. So 9 and 11, I'm going to go 12 and 8. 12 is there. 8 is right at the bottom on that same line of projection. Is everyone happy with that? So let me illustrate. So that's 11. That's 9. That's 12. That's 8. Okay. Then we're going to project up 1 and 7. 1 and 7 should be. Let's make sure we get that. I get the line correct. There's 7 there. Okay, so that's 1 and 7. Okay, those are the 2 turning points. So this is a turning point because it coincides with it. Okay, these are all these 1 and 7. These are all auxiliary termination points. Okay, 2 and 6. 2 is up there. 6 is down where? Don't feel like illustrate that. 6 is here. Illustrated it on this side. So 6. Just make sure we get the right line of projection here. There. Okay, there it is there. So 6 is there. A lot of detail here. Just make sure you get the right point. So that is going to be 2, and that is going to be 6. Right, and 3 and 5. There's 3, and then 5 will be there. Okay, so there's 3, there's 5. And then 4, quite simply, is going to be there and there. There's 4 and there's 4. Project up and across in their place. And then here, going to again use my freehand to spline fit this. If you've got a good freehand, otherwise you can use your flexi curves. It should look a bit like an upside down heart that's slightly not symmetrical or non-symmetrical. Okay.
The turning point will be on the top.
Yeah. You're gonna,
Ice cold.
So you haven't put them to the top. Like.
the turning point won't be right at the top because look at the from that point there, which is the turning point. Okay, from there to there.
So where did you get that distance?
So that's the turning point there. I've taken the turning.
You took that distance.
That distance there should be the distance from there to there. Okay. Right, then that's it, gents. There it is. Developed. Now I'm just going to label it. Development. This is good for the market to know. Okay, that's very neat and well, it's very tardy, but.
Is this a postcode?
Huh? No. Alright, guys. Well done.